What is big technology? Whatever you're thinking, I'm going to stop you right there. I mean big, like Duplo block big, $5 foot long big, like actually physically huge. What is grandiose scaling? Skyscrapers punching the heavens? The latest 400-mile long cargo ship? The artificial Spartley Islands? Maybe the 43 seconds of artificial sunlight humanity's been able to develop? What if I told you 300,000 years of human technological experimentation, implementation, and repercussion was barely even scratching the surface? Welcome to the fifth world, the age of men as gods. Hello and welcome to What's Up Punk, where we take a look at the myriad of subgenres underneath the umbrella of punk. Today we're taking a look at Terrapunk. Caveat from my intro, Terrapunk isn't about humans transubstantiating into something celestial. Fuck! However, and for once I'm using this phrase completely literally, it's about god-tier tech. Yes. Like the name implies, this one is all about terraforming Mars, Venus, Titan, Europa, and other potential habitable locations within and outside the solar system. Also reversing the damage done here at home. What is Terrapunk? Terrapunk is a rebellion against stagnation. Terrapunk is a movement towards the future. Terrapunk is the rallying cry of the builders, the individuals, the founders, the leaders, the creators. For Terrapunk is not just merely reducing the harm done to the earth, but improving it. Terrapunks do not seek to overpower existing forms of life, just simply help their growth if found in parallel with our own. For there is enough space for all to exist. To rewild the bison is Terrapunk. To go beyond rewilding, to go all John Hammond and revive the woolly mammoth is Terrapunk. To create new iterations of these life forms is also Terrapunk.
I spared no expense.
Create larger whales, animals with more nutritious meat, and other biological life forms to terraform the environment in beneficial ways. Often these biological forms may not be adapting to Earth, but rather the planet we are currently terraforming. As the planet evolves, so should their biochemistry is Terrapunk. To not just do more with less, but to do more with more. The Terrapunk increases their sovereignty by increasing tools that allow them to thrive with the less reliance on a centralized system. Stripping away the grand spectrum of what future tech can accomplish, Terrapunk is a rebellion. A rebellion against the minimal communal ideas of Solarpunk and Lunarpunk. A rebellion against the Cyberpunk naked beast of late-stage capitalism that we are not hitting foot to the floor on the gas pedal to our own extinction.
Your entire generation fucked this planet into a coma.
Boom! Spoiler alert.
Planets. That the human race isn't done yet. In fact, they're just getting started. In Jack Najak's own words, Terrapunk is not stagnation, it's action. Technology. It's here that your friends at What's Up Punk recommend getting a drink, possibly a snack pack. We got a lot to cover. So first, Terrapunk's got a few aspects from its punk brethren. Like biopunk. There's a lot of biopunk here. The main difference is it's not evolve bitch as a social movement or just to see if we can, or for the aesthetic. It's adapt bitch because we can or we're going to need it. Trust about the stars sounds all well and good, but there's a high chance it's going to be like Firefly or Cowboy Bebop. A lot of weird crap can throw at you. And let's just say a modular body might come in handy. We're going for Earth actual, but we might have to settle for Earth equivalent. With such fun things as new diseases.
Bowden's malady. Know what it is?
Affliction of the bone and muscle. Degenerative.
Every planet that's been terraformed for human life has its own little quirks. Turns out the air down underground mixed up with the ore processors. There's a recipe for Bowden's. Everybody gets it. Miners, dumpers. Hell, I got it. I ain't ever set foot in a mine.
Or we didn't get the oxygen levels just right.
Give it up already. Huh?
Venus has a lot of helium in the atmosphere. You can fix it with these little popper pills.
Or my personal favorite.
It's the gravity. 10 times stronger than Earth.
I apologize for nothing. I picked up a steel box of a few classic animes and I'm on a kick. Next up on the tech tree, we got improving the big blue bitch. This has some similarities with Solarpunk. They capture carbon, methane, and other gases to transform them into beneficial products, synthetic biology, ocean mineralization, and more to reduce pollution. Produce clouds that drift over the Pacific Ocean to rain on the Salton Sea to reduce the salinity. clouds that go over the Arctic ice to increase the albedo and decrease the heat resorption. Clouds reduce California wildfires. And clouds reduce coral bleaching in Australia to increase coral growth. They burn the necessary levels of forest to reduce wildfires, but they also create trees or bacteria that are less prone to burning, as well as trees that grow faster. Vertical farms to efficiently produce food, clone farms for meat, and aquacultures for fish. Next up after fortifying Earth is terraforming other planets. It's a well-known term, but I'll spell it out if it's first time hearing it. It's converting dead planets or dying planets to one that can support its own ecosystem, like Venus or Mars. Now here's the rub. We have the general idea how to do this, it's just money, time, and tech level that's getting in the way. Also, not every planet needs the same thing to get the ball rolling. Example, Venus, if the atmosphere was seeded with an algae converting the atmosphere's ample supplies of water, nitrogen, carbon dioxide into organic compounds, could reduce Venus's runaway greenhouse effect. And on Mars, it's like the complete opposite. We would actually need more global warming-like conditions to melt the ice. What I'm getting at is every planet needs something different. There's no magic bullet for this.
According to myth, the Earth was created in 6 days. Now watch out. Here comes Genesis. We'll do it for you in 6 minutes.
And if there was one in the future, it'd be modular as shit. Possibly even being able to move the planet into a better place, what's called the Goldilocks zone. Not too far from a soul sun, but not too close either. Now how would we power these engines of creation?
I can create a sun right in the palm of my hand.
We're working on it, but like I said, 40 seconds. Also, while nukes will scratch the paint on the big blue bitch, a runaway sun will... yeah, that. So until we have that on lock, we have Dyson spheres. Again, a term I assume people know, but just in case, a Dyson sphere is a hypothetical artificial megastructure built around a star, made up of solar collectors collecting all its radiant energy. That's about 380 billion quadrillion watts of power. The rub is that you would need one hollowed out planet's worth of resources to construct exactly one Dyson sphere. But say we did reach that level of technology, terraforming is going to take time and we're not impeding growth, and space is vast. So space stations? That's too plebeian. Let's make us some sides. I know they're called something else, but I'm a Gundam fan, that's a fucking side. Or as I call it when I'm feeling frustrated, a 20-mile counter-rotating sex toy you can live in.
The Babylon Project was our last, best hope for peace. A self-contained world 5 miles long located in neutral territory.
Or if you're feeling real kinky, a ring world.
Cortana, what exactly am I looking at? That is another Halo.
The final level of the tech tree is true god tier stuff. Terrapunk strive to reach the level where they can ignite knots of molecular clouds to form stars of their own, to beat the 40-second limit, or solidify cosmic gas and dust into planets of their own.
Would you leave all your money in space?
Aesthetic. The aesthetic really doesn't come up much, except in this bit here from Green Pill 61 by fellow media and cypherpunk Kevin Owaki of the channel Bankless.
One idea that I have is this kind of like Atlas Shrugged character kneeling over this, like he's kneeling, and beneath his knees is this city, like this massive city, but Atlas is just so massive, he's massive. There's a ring of mountains surrounding him, and there's like a terraformed Mars like on his shoulders. That's like one Terrapunk image that I have.
What the hell was that?
Perhaps my penchant for sarcasm is going a bit too far. We're doing a lot of big tech here. As important as information tech has become, the general tech idea at the moment is scaling down, making it smaller. But if you're turning one of the big wheels of the universe, you're going to need the big tools. Pull it back a bit. Before the sides and Mars, let's just work on Terra 01 and not ending up in small communities. May I present ecomodernism? It is the idea that we can use technology and innovation to solve environmental problems and improve our lives without harming the planet. It suggests that by adopting clean energy and efficient practices, we can grow our economies and enjoy a high standard of living while reducing our impact on nature. Essentially, it believes with the right tools and ideas, modern technology can help us live sustainably and protect the environment. It's stuff like advanced nuclear reactors that offer a low carbon energy source that can produce large amounts of energy with a small footprint compared to the traditional energy sources, and phasing out older reactors. Urban agriculture, growing food vertical farms or using hydroponics in urban areas, which reduces the need for large-scale farming and cuts down on transportation emissions. Smart grids, implementing intelligent electricity grids that optimize energy distribution, integrating renewable sources, and reducing waste. Green building technology, constructing energy-efficient buildings with sustainable materials, and advanced climate control systems to lower energy consumption and reduce environmental impact. And more. You're starting to see the Solarpunk in the offshoot, right? While not losing the modern amenities. Essentially, pre-contemporary, clean lines, minimalism, and modern materials. This reflects an embrace of advanced technology and design that prioritize efficiency and functionality, blending natural elements with high-tech features. This can be seen in the use of green roofs, urban gardens, buildings designed to harmonize their natural surroundings with incorporating cutting-edge technology. Now, when it comes to Terrapunk and narratives, Jack has some thoughts. It's kind of a trip.
Typical hero journeys begin with the call to adventure, and end with the hero returning home with new skills. But sometimes, after defeating the villain, they just go home. Have you ever noticed how in Star Wars, after defeating the Empire, the rebels just go home? They don't improve the world beyond defeating the villain even if they gained new skills.
Huh. Hey, Mon Mothma, you and the government you put together with Z Rebels, got anything to say about this? Don't even try to excuse this. By the time this came out, we already had Mando and the sequel trilogy. So more like the Iron Man movies and less like, say, Jaws, where it's just the same movie over and over again except with a new silly hat. Where did Terrapunk start? Twitter? I physically can't say X. September 5th, 2021. Terrapunk spilled out Solarpunk, mostly as a criticism of Solarpunk. If you know me, you know I like criticizing Solarpunk. Jack just hits it from a different direction than I do. I don't like it because utopias are such a quixotic concept. Humanity is literally a conclave of cockroaches. Jack thinks humans are a bunch of cockroaches, but in a nicer way. As a good book does say, be fruitful and multiply, and historically, humans are real good at multiplying.
I have never heard the terms human maximization, population expansion, or resource creation in Solarpunk, and they are not once mentioned in the original conception. For to live in harmony with the Earth is to imply a reduction of growth and resource usage. Even if successful, there's always the sense that climate change is right around the corner, and if one were to use fossil fuels, the whole ecosystem would collapse. Have you ever seen any rocket launches depicted in Solarpunk? One might say, but we are happy on Earth. We have everything we need. Even in the most fantastical depictions of Solarpunk, there is always the sense that they are still on Earth. Yet, remaining on Earth is fundamentally anti-human. Either the population expands and we create denser buildings, human atomization, or the population declines so we can each have enough space, human minimization. Neither of these are futures I want to live in, for they are both about reducing humans for the betterment of Earth. Being constrained to Earth is untenable for expanding humanity. It is stagnation, and stagnation is collapse. Also, that Solarpunk is green socialism, and with that expansion, need more resources and energy than solar tech can provide.
Basically, unless solar panel tech advances or someone figures out the space elevator, you're gonna need to cover a lot of the surface of this planet to get the same bang for your buck when it comes to solar energy, especially for a burgeoning society. No one is wrong in these two viewpoints. Solarpunk switches to
communism.
Nah, it ain't like that.
It is that, literally. This is the commune. We're communists.
We kind of fucked the planet. Yeah, other things have come into play. Air pollution has actually kind of been an issue since like before the Bronze Age. But as the apex species on this planet, the shepherding kind of falls on us. I love to kick back and leave the dolphins to handle this, but their tech just isn't there yet. So they scale back and scale down, giving this place a bit of time to rest and heal. But at the same time,
I've declared war not because capitalism's a thorn in my side or out of nostalgia for an America gone by. This war's a people's war against a system that spiraled out of our control. It's a war against the fucking forces of entropy.
Capitalism isn't the bad guy either. It's greedy sociopaths that abuse the system, which happens in every system. You show me a perfect system, I'll show you someone who's goosing their numbers. Anyway, with that scaling back means eventually less people. Now in its defense, oh, that just felt wrong. Jake isn't seeing the forest for the trees. Yeah, humans don't come up a lot in Solarpunk art, because there's not a lot of Solarpunk art. This is my second offshoot of the concept, and it's still pretty fringe. Also, a lot of Solarpunk art I've seen or read still seems like a bunch of people are kicking around. It's just that most Solarpunk art shows off the cities more because, well, it's a new way of community. That's the point they're trying to get across, not the day-to-day. It's also why Solarpunk stories are boring. Back, baby! Real life Terrapunks. Okay, as this is a burgeoning, still pretty new science and technology, I really don't want to name names because it's always changing and flowing, but if you are working on terraforming technology, you are a Terrapunk. The Solarpunk space argument. So, this is a weird take. Jake's big inspiration for the manifesto is that Solarpunk future is one where we must be content on this big blue bitch, instead of trouncing about the stars, saying that eco-capitalism model is a way to go opposed to an eco-communal society, and so sidestep the cyberpunk hellscape. Now, the Solarpunks that don't take too kindly to the manifesto's second big criticism is that space is communal, citing the Russian space program being the first to come in, only for the USA to dominate, then fall off for a while and then come back. The Hubble being the joint venture with NASA and the ESA. Hell, it's in the name of the International Space Station. It's a fair viewpoint, and one worthy of examination, as it does speak to the core of the idea. My 2 cents? Space is communal.
Yes.
Till it ain't.
Fuck!
Not exactly a new concept for the public sector to figure something out, and the private sector to come in on private sector all over its face. Or just friggin' SpaceX. Be reasonable. People can make a profit off feet, they can make a profit off space. Putting down the sarcasm stick for a second, if the romance of space is enough to bring humanity out into the black, to boldly go where no one's gone before, I roll, that would make me so happy. To fall off the edge as explorers, adventurers, cosmic photographers, and learned nomads instead of a virus or conquerors.
You fell over the edge, punk.
Then again, we can't even get people to move to a new city without incentive. Get your space mining and trucking hat ready. My recommendations. More like examples, but honestly I would recommend all of them. It's just they have examples of Terrapunk, not fully Terrapunk. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. There's a lot of criticism with the movie version of Hitchhikers, and a lot of it's well-founded. Humor in the time of The Office was probably not the right era to make it, as it's cringy. The emotional gun is just one of many stupid additions, and giving it to this guy is definitely a war crime. However, celestial scaling, they got down. Watching the Magatherian surreal construction of Earth 2 makes me chuckle.
It has the words, "Don't panic," printed in large, friendly letters on its cover.
Tainei, one of the big three of trying to keep Western 2D animation movies relevant in the early 2000s. While not commercially successful, Atlantis, Treasure Planet, and Tainei have earned their cult status. Much like Hitchhikers, Earth done got blown up, but it's not an alien race that brings it back. It's humanity, in the ship called the Titan. After some betrayals and a genocide, New Earth is formed, aka Bob.
Bob?
You don't like Bob?
You can't call a planet Bob.
Oh, so now you're the boss. You're the king of Bob.
How do I feel about Terrapunk? First off, Jack doesn't do himself any favors in the manifesto using some made-up words.
What words made up?
Okay, yes, that is true, and in the story, I wouldn't even bring this up, as you can easily infer the meaning behind human maximization or human minimization. But this is a thesis, and using terms in this way...
God, it's like you just use words you hear randomly to try and sound smarter.
So reading it, also being the main way of entering Terrapunk, is kind of a slog to get through. With that out of the way, it's heartwarming, inspirational, high concept, but not my thing. Nothing but tragedy follows being that powerful. No heaven to aspire to, no hell to avoid. So something simple like the flood comes along and just ruins your shit. Either the universe gets reset, we go to civil war with ourselves and start fucking over the species that come after us, or we start some terrible Ragnarok-style cycle of death and rebirth. Of course, since it's spilled out of Solarpunk where humans are just better than they really are, Jack brings up none of this. We're just the big swinging dick of the universe. Yeah, I'm not going to say it wouldn't be awesome. It would be. I just feel all aspects should be looked over when we're dealing with power this godlike. Maybe have some safeguards, absolute power and all that jazz. I can see this one possibly growing on me, but it needs some refining. It's one of those times that I acknowledge that yes, I'm the cynic. Please prove me wrong. But at the same time, don't be blind to the potholes. Well, this has been What's Up Punk. Till next time, dance naked under the full moon or just howl at it if you're on the shy side. Growl out to your frustrations about the world backed by some thick bass and D beats. Or just kick back and relax with some happy smokable trees. But keep on being a no-good, dirty punk.
You know it, you love it, here's the spiel, let's do it. Hit subscribe to be my subscriber. Hit the bell so you know when I've actually posted stuff. Still no idea why those two things are separate now, but whatever. And of course, hit like to appease the algorithm gods. All fear and praise. On a list of whatever YouTubes, I am also probably not going to get any ad revenue for these videos, so if you would be so kind, check out that Patreon and the GoFundMe. Links in the description.